Razaban for FightHype.com with me. I've got Showtime's very own Mr. Stephen
in
Espinoza.
London.
Once again.
Yeah, right.
Once again. How are you doing, Stephen?
I'm great.
We're here for a small event, anti-Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko. Before I talk about the fight itself, historically it's known that HBO and Showtime have come together on two occasions. Lewis Tyson, and more recently Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Both those fights were pay-per-view. This was a non-pay-per-view fight. How difficult was it?
Well, it was difficult. You know, the irony is on each of the past two occasions, I think everyone involved was a bit exhausted by the process, and at the end of it, sort of said, you know, I don't think we'll ever do that again. You know, and here we are doing it again.
Was that after the Floyd impact?
Yeah, I think there was a general sense all around that it would be a while before that happened again, and here we are in less than 2 years later doing it again, and on a non-pay-per-view fight, which is significant. I think that tells us two things. One, the scope and the stature of the fight, and the amount of interest, and two, the importance of this fight in the division and potentially sort of to boxing as a whole. It was an important fight to both networks, and it was important to both networks that they get a piece of it. So it got done in a rather creative and unique way.
Eddie mentioned that this deal took him many months to cross the line. What were the kind of the stumbling blocks that took so long?
Well, again, there was a period of time in which both networks had to become comfortable with the concept, because it's one thing to share on a pay-per-view, and it's quite another to share on a non-pay-per-view event. And then really the structure took a while, because there were a range of different possibilities. You know, splitting the rights, alternating fights, you know, simultaneously broadcasting on both networks. They were all discussed, and ultimately it was critical to us at Showtime that we get the live rights, and we were thrilled to be able to do so.
Can you confirm or deny? Is it a rematch clause? Well, we've heard it is a rematch clause in the contract. Would that mean that HBO, if there was a rematch, would be permitted to show it first and Showtime second?
In our agreement with HBO, there are certain parameters that do govern. I wouldn't say that it's finally resolved. There is at least a process in place that hopefully will ensure that if there is a rematch, that it won't be quite difficult and unwieldy a process as it was the first time.
Stephen, you're a very astute businessman. You made the move on anti-Joshua, I believe, just before the Dominic Brazil fight.
Yes.
How thrilled are you that you made that move at the kind of the right time before Anti got to this almost superstar level?
Oh, well, I would, you know, I'd like to say that it was, you know, being an astute businessman, but at a certain point it was fairly obvious. Anthony had the success of the Olympics, the pedigree in the amateurs, and anyone who's paid any attention to the early part of his career could see that he was progressing very quickly and was becoming an economic success very quickly. So we were fortunate with Anthony that there were a number of indicators that showed his star appeal. It wasn't much of a risk saying, look, we'd like to be in the Anthony Joshua business. You know, he had been tested many times over and proven to be a draw here in the UK. So in many senses, it was fortunate that we were able to get him when we did, because it's clear he's going to have virtually limitless potential.
I've spoken to a lot of great pundits and ex-boxers and current boxers, and everyone I speak to is very mixed on the actual fight itself. Some people say he's too young, too fresh. Klitschko's too old, he's 41 years old, he's been out of the ring 18 months. Others say they rested him well, others say he has experience. How do you see that balance to this fight?
Well, I think the reason why you have such a range of opinions on this is because there's really no real good foundation on which to judge Klitschko at this point. I think it's a mistake to judge Klitschko on the basis of the Tyson Fury fight. Fury is 6'9", he's got long arms, he's very awkward, and it's difficult for anyone to look good against Tyson Fury. So anyone who's judging what Klitschko has left based on that fight, I think is making a major mistake. What he has left at this point is a bit of a mystery. I think personally, I'd agree most with a comment that I heard from Jonathan Banks, the trainer for Klitschko, who commented that he believes that it will be a chess match for about 6 minutes, and then essentially a free-for-all. And I do think that will be the case. I think they'll be both cautious in the first round or two, but then after that, I think they'll throw caution to the wind.
You're going to predict someone for the fight, who would it be? Obviously, I know you're backing Anthony Joshua, but realistically, what do you think the outcome will be?
The real question will be Anthony's ability to take a punch. He probably hasn't been in with anyone with the power that Klitschko has. If he is able to stand in there and take the power, he'll come out a clear winner. If that proves to be more of a problem than he thinks, then it'll probably be a short night.